everyone. Welcome to Marie's Scrappy Creations, where we sew the scraps of your life into beautiful creations. I'm so glad you joined me today for What's Up Wednesday. I have a little bit of a mixed bag this week, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. Mostly it's just chit chat, as you know it normally is, right? And that's why most of you hang around here. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you something that I filmed today that shows two different zipper feet. I had a conversation with one of my subscribers, Kimberly, and I told her that I had purchased another zipper foot because I had the one that came with my machine, but I also had one that I purchased because it was narrower and I thought it would be, so much better. Is it? Isn't it? You'll have to stick around to find out what I show you. On top of that, I have some items that I bought this week from Marden's. I take you guys to Marden's with me, and I know you guys love to go shopping, and I get to show you all around our Marden's. I didn't go down each aisle, but I show you the autumn and the Christmas fabrics and kind of give you a big long zoom. But there's about 5 minutes of it there, I would guess. So I bet you guys will like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the little zipper foot video in here. And then we're going to look at the Marden's store video. Then we're going to come right back here to my table, and I'm going to show you what I bought this week, and we'll do the creative word of the day, okay? So let's go take a look at those zipper feet and then onward to the store. So today I wanted to explain to you how I felt about these two zipper feet. Now this is the one that came with my machine. I've had this one on quite a few different machines that I've had. They've all been similar to this. What I don't care for on this is when you lock it down, when you snap it on here, what happens is this tilts. It doesn't always tilt as much as that, but it can tilt. So as it's tilted, you're trying to sew along in a straight line. Sorry about the shadow here. This is not good. Anyway, so as you're going along, it kind of tilts to one side. So I purchased this foot thinking that it would be so much better because it's narrower, gave me more space, and I have to admit that I don't like it as much as I thought I would. It doesn't tilt like this one does, and I do like that about it. I think what it is I have to get used to it because it is different than anything I've ever used. And different doesn't always mean worse, it just simply means different. And so it might take me a while to get used to it. But I'm going to show you what the difference is sewing on the same thing with two different feet. Now, before I do that, I'm going to flip these over. I'm sure you guys have done this, but if you have not, you will notice that on the underside, you've got these little channels on the side, and you can butt that right up against the center of your zipper and just glide right along there. Now, each of these have that. Personally, I don't tend to use those. I am self-taught with a lot of things, zippers being one of them. And I would always, when I started, I would always put this edge against the edge of my fabric. And I thought that was the way to go. So when I had a sewing machine that only had one needle position and I was using this side, I was still pretty happy with my zippers. But now, because I have a machine that does have different needle positions, I tend to move my needle over towards the center when I use this. So instead of the needle being over here, it's closer to the middle, okay? So with this one, I definitely have to change my needle position, or else it would come right down in the center and it would break a needle. So the biggest warning I want to give you guys is just be careful. Turn your hand wheel first when you're messing with your needle positions, especially on a zipper foot, but on many different sewing feet. That needle could hit that and split. It could throw part of the needle. It could hurt your machine. You know, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. So whatever you try, just make sure that when you change your needle position, you hand crank it to make sure where that needle's going to go its first time. All right, so I'm going to show you on my machine. I'm going to use this one on one side of the zipper and this one on the other, and I'm going to show you what I like and what I don't like. So let's do that. Okay, and for this purpose, I'm just using a 2.5 stitch length. I'm going to do what I normally do, which is put the right side of this even with the edge of my fabric. And I'm going to do what I normally do, which is move my needle position to 4.7. And I always hand crank the first one just to make sure. And when you're doing zippers, especially if you're not used to them, don't go fast, just go very slow. And I can tell you that mine isn't exactly even here with my fabric, but you know, for what we're doing it for, I'm not going to worry. Besides, that little amount won't make a big difference. And you guys wait, you'll be totally impressed with this 80s fabric that I have here. You wait just a second till I open this. You're going to be so impressed. My aunt had given me some fabric a while ago. Someone had gifted it to her. She had a whole bunch of small pieces, and this was one of them. Check out that 80s stuff, huh? All right. So this is putting in a zipper as if I would for one of my zippered bags that I make a lot of. Okay, so as you can see, if I pull this apart a little bit, I hope you can see that there's a little line, kind of, you can see, next to the zipper. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Anyway, this is how close that came. It made it nice and neat. I can't complain. And if I were to top stitch, which I normally would do on that, I would top stitch there, and I'd be pretty happy with the width that I have on that. But now I'm going to pause this video while I get my next side ready. All right, I have prepped the other side, and let's switch out these presser feet. Now, if you remember right, I moved my needle position, and I'm going to have to, whoops, I hit the button. I'm going to put it back where I had it, which was 4.7. All right, now, if I were to use that where it is, it would hit the center. So I definitely have to move my needle position. Now this is a 2.3 and it's barely hitting. I'm going to go 2.0 because I have to clear that center. Don't want to be hitting that. And again, I am going to line this foot up with the edge of my fabric and zipper. Should have probably been removing these as I went. This one seems to be pulling downward or something. I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look. I'll take the pins out. And this is just as I thought it would be when I first got the foot. I'm sure you can tell the difference. There's only a little bit of space here. And yes, excuse me, before the comment section blows up, I do understand that the needle position has a lot to do with this, as far as how narrow or wide that is. I'm just showing you simply because of the effect that you can get with the different zipper feet and moving your needles side to side. I actually like the look where you have more zipper showing, because if you're using, you know, a coordinating zipper and you really want it to show, then you want more color to show. And yes, I could move my needle position a little bit, or my presser foot. Now, when I was using this presser foot, I had the needle clearing this, but just barely. It was over here. So I would have had to, I'm trying to think if I could have pressed it on the other side or not, but I would have had to move it over more. But just doing what I normally do, because I hate to change too much, but doing what I normally do, I like that I get more zipper showing with this narrow one. But I'm not altogether sold on it, because I think because I used this for so long that even though I get that little bit of unevenness as it goes along, I'm so used to where that thing goes and I know where it's going to go. Whereas with this one, I'm still judging. How far over is that? If that makes sense. But this is what I get out of just barely clearing the center of each one. So I'm moving the needle position to just barely miss the center of each one, and you can see what the difference is. And of course, we're going to show more because this is narrower. You can tell that that little sloped part is only about 2/3 as big as this one is. There's a marked difference between them. Oh goodness. Then I could just throw them around and we wouldn't see them at all, would we? Let me lay them out here side by side again so that you can see them. So you can see how narrow the one on the left is compared to the one on the right. So I had I was discussing this with one of my subscribers, Kimberly, and I told her I would show her what I found to be the difference. And like I say, yes, your needle position is going to make all the difference, but using the first needle position past, you know, so that you're not hitting that center, and then lining up your edge with the right side of your fabric on both, this is what you get. So I do like the narrower one for some things, and I do like the wider one for some things. So it's kind of a toss-up. I paid $5.99 to buy that. Another subscriber just left a link on the Facebook page where he found that he bought some zippers in bulk and got this free. So there's that as well. I guess it just depends on how often you use a zipper foot, if it really bothers you. So I don't know if I swayed you one way or the other, but I did want to show you what I found to be the difference. And, oh, I know one more thing. I tend to top stitch with a different foot, and a lot of people will leave their zipper foot on. But when I am using the narrower one, I find it easier to top stitch with that on because I can see more. This one kind of blocks what I'm seeing. And I like this one that I can see where I'm going, as well as if I go like this, say I was top stitching right along here, okay? If I have this just even, this part even with the edge, and I have my needle over on this left side by my thumb, I'm getting an almost perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance from the edge. And you can't beat that because we all like that 1/4 inch seam allowance, don't we? Okay, well, that's what I have to say about zipper feet today. You may not have learned anything, but you got to know my opinion on which I prefer. If I could make up my mind, you'd know. Okay, so I am at Marden's. Let's see what is on special today. Whole bolt of fabric. These ones are $29.99, $14.99. And they had these the last time. There's quite a few pieces of batiks in there. You get 5 fat quarters, 1/4 yard cut, and 2 1/2 yard cuts. But I'm not a batik fan. I definitely can grab some of these seasonal. Let's see, ooh, some eyes. Grab a couple of those. Now let's see what they have today. It's probably a really good price. And I do grab this thread from time to time at 99 cents. Okay, I'm not sure what I did. I thought I was recording and I was not. Christmas fabrics are in. Almost all of the bottom one is flannel. And it's all roughly probably $4.99 a yard. Yep. Let's see what the flannels are down here. $4.99 a yard. But I'm here for autumn colors, and I see some beauties here. These are also $4.99 a yard. Oh, that's gorgeous. The color probably isn't going to show because it doesn't look right through my camera, but that's beautiful. Okay, so out of that selection, I found these 4. But this is their Halloween or autumn section. So there's a lot of nice prints. I might change my mind. I'm not as much into the Halloween prints as some are, but I'd still like to have some available. Oh, what's this? Not quite sure. Let's see, and it's probably on the other side as well. And it is. A lot of Halloween prints. Wow. Oh, and I meant to say there's plenty more. I was only showing you this side of the Christmas fabrics, and then there's the other side, the next one, and then this side before we get to the autumn. So there is a lot. This is too pretty to pass up, but check out the price. $3.48 a yard. I'm gonna get some of that. I've been looking at this one and a few others that are really nice. This one's $6.99, and that's the first I've ever seen of one in that price range. But I like this one too. That's really nice, and that's $4.99. This is where I get a lot of my solids because they're either usually 108 inches wide. Yeah, and as you can see, $8.99 a yard. So sometimes I'll only buy a half a yard because it just depends on what I need. They've had this for a few years now, these colors. They've got these paisleys in all different colors, and they've had them for quite a long time. Let's see, $7.99 a yard, 108 inch wide. It beats any price online. And then up top, as you can see, the prices are totally different and very good. And here is like a pre-cut section. So I think these were from Walmart, but there's 5 fat quarters for $4.99. I think 5. Yeah, 5 piece. And then these are 1 yard cuts. And more fat quarters. I had just bought some of these for $1 at Walmart before the craft fair, but that's okay. It happens. I like that print. A little messed up, but it works. And I'll probably grab some. And then there's plenty more pre-cuts. I had purchased some of this PUL fabric before, $5.99. All kinds of pre-cuts. I just found one here that I threw in my cart like that. It's really nice. Get some rooster prints. And this black rooster print, I like that. So thank you for joining me here at the sewing table. Before I get to the fabrics that I bought, I wanted to show you what I made, some of what I made this week. I made some masks for an order. And then I had one of you subscribers who purchased the monster bags that did not sell at the craft fair, as well as a unicorn zippered bag. And she wanted one of these boxes that my husband makes. So he made her up a nice fresh one to go in the mail. And she has this bag here that I made for her. This is because she won the Creative Word of the Day contest for the month of August. So those were hers. And there were a few other things, but they either went out in the mail or I do not have them handy. But now I'm going to show you the fabric that I did end up with from Marden's. So you saw me picking around in the Halloween section, or the Halloween box that they had there of fat quarters. And those were 88 cents. I can't get a zoom on that. There we go. 88 cents. So while I probably should have some orange or something to go with that, I could always pick that up later. But once I unroll those, you'll be able to see them. This says like toil and trouble and something's brewing. Something wicked this way comes. And of course we have eyes. The eyes have it. I thought this would look really nice with some of it. Okay, there was that. And then these were in that fat quarter section. And remember I said when I showed going through the store that I liked the fabric because, and it's looking very yellow here, but it's really not. It's a a very nice color, and it's going to go really well with my autumn fabrics. And I did buy this 1 yard cut. I thought that was a nice print. I like that. $3.99 a yard, that's not bad, right? Okay. So we had this fabric. You remember me seeing that and saying I really like that fabric. And that's going to make beautiful pot holders, pillow, autumn table runner. Just there's so many different things I can think of to make with that. And look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? I wish the true color would show through. But these were all $4.99 a yard, the ones I'm showing you. Were $4.99 a yard. I have a tutorial coming up. We're going to be using some autumn colors to make something very nice. This was $3.99 a yard, and it has birds on it and the leaves. I only bought a half yard of this because I didn't know what I was going to use this for. It's the only one that I specifically don't know, or that I didn't know something specific, so I figured I better buy a half yard. And then there was this one. Now this was only $3.48 a yard. There wasn't a whole lot left on the bolt. I asked her how much, and there was 2 1/8, so I took all that she had. So 2 1/8 for $7.39 is a pretty good deal in my book. Bought a couple of the 99-cent threads to go with it. I have never been really picky about threads. I like cotton thread. I use cotton thread quite a bit, but polyester thread is stronger than cotton. I never realized that it was until a friend told me about doing a pull test. She told me to hold a piece of cotton thread, wrap it around your fingers and pull, and then take a piece of polyester thread and do the same thing and see which one breaks first. And I was very surprised to find out how the cotton thread was almost brittle. So it does have its place. I just purchased some through Connecting Threads about 6 months ago, and I really do like it. But like I say, everybody's going to have what they like, what they prefer to use, and that's always going to be a little bit different than the next person. Oops, I just found another print over here that kind of got left out. I'm not sure what it is, but oh, I guess it's like Halloween drinks. What it looks like. Uh-oh, better look out. You don't know what's in those. But I hope you guys liked looking around Marden's, and I apologize about I was whispering, but I had this lady looking at me. So I filmed the first part, and she was over to my left, and she kept looking at me. Actually, let me turn the camera around here. Hold on. Goodness, now I have to get in front of the camera again. Okay, excuse that bad photography. Anyway, I just can't, I can only talk to you guys at the table for so long without looking or feeling like I'm looking. Anyway, there was a woman off to my left, and she kept looking at me and looking at me. Of course, I've got the camera, and I'm talking to you guys. And she looks at me, so I made up a little white lie. Instead of saying I'm talking to my YouTube subscribers, I said, I'm filming this for someone. And she looked at me as if I had lost my marbles, and she said, you can do anything you want to. So I continued to film with her watching me with an eagle eye, because she must have thought I had totally lost it, gone cuckoo, because the way she said that, you can do anything you want to, led me to believe that she was not comfortable and she was going to watch every move I made. So as I was going down and showing you guys the Christmas stuff, she had her cart behind me. She was probably filming me for all I know. Anyway, what can I say? Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today on What's Up Wednesday. I won't bother you with a lot more chit chat. I have quite a bit of sewing that I would like to get done today, and so I want to get this uploaded and edited since it's Tuesday afternoon. So the creative word for the day is going to be autumn, since I bought some autumn fabrics. Are you looking forward to autumn? It's my favorite season. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had even just a little bit of fun, because I know I did. Right? We have fun when we're together. And until next time, you take care, be safe, be kind out there. The world needs more of that. And I'll see you next time right here at Marie's Scrappy Creations. Bye-bye.